Hello, I'm Mariah Ramharak and welcome to In Case You Missed It on SportsMax and CEEN TV. Can you believe we're up on a season break on In Case You Missed It? Time really flies when you're having so much fun. Well, as we close off this season of the show, we take a look at some of the top moments on the show for 2025. We started the season chatting with Trinidad and Tobago's cricketer, Amrita Ramtahal, after Trinidad and Tobago won the Super 50 Cup. What does it mean to you, Amrita, for Trinidad and Tobago to win a Super 50 title after 8 years?
I mean, it's a proud moment for me and the team, knowing that we waited 8 years to be back in the final, and it's a very incredible feeling for me being a first time at the senior level, and I really enjoy playing these games.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of footage of the team when you all arrived at the Piarco International Airport. The media was present. What was the reception like for you? I'm talking about one at the airport and two, back home with your family.
At the airport, we were very excited because to see back our family and friends, it was a very excited feeling. And to be back home as well, it's a very proud feeling to be around my parents and family, the ones who's always been supporting me.
Yeah, has it been any different? Are you getting a lot more love now?
For sure.
Good stuff. Well, I have to ask you, you spoke about the win meaning a lot to you and your team. But, I want to ask you about personally when it comes to your performances. You contributed with the ball. You were really stepping up, picked up, I believe, 8 wickets at the end of the competition. What does that mean to you, Amrita? You didn't just go to the competition and pick up numbers. You contributed with the wickets.
It means everything to me with the support from my teammates and my captain as well, Fraser McConnell. She really do a big part in encouraging me and building my confidence in the game.
Yeah, and it's always good when you can get that support. I just want to remind our viewers, you're 15 years old, right? Which means you're very young, you're new to this level of competition. Amrita, where did your love for the game come from? When did you realize, I want to be a cricketer?
I most believe that was like 6 years. When I was 6 years old, I started attending my dad's Sunday cricket, and very so often they would give me little knocks in the net and I would throw balls to them, and that's when people was like, she has a real natural talent. And earlier then my family would say, one day I need to represent my country and the West Indies cricket.
Yeah, and you just mentioned your dad being involved in cricket. So I have to ask you, is he hard on you when you don't have performances that he expects? Because I know when you have parents that played the sport before and everything, sometimes they can be like, Amrita, what did you just do? Is he that kind of dad?
Yes, he always wants me to be on top of my game.
Yeah, does he give you like advice that you feel can help your game as well?
Yeah, for sure. Every game he's been there and he's always giving me advice on like my bowling, my batting, and to ways to improve myself.
Yeah, very important to get that support, of course. Now, you're in school. I was told that you had a match earlier today. Happy to know that you won that. But Amrita, apart from that, you're 15, you're unable to do regular things that regular kids do, like you're balancing school, you're playing cricket for your country. How difficult is that for you?
I would say it's a bit challenging, but luckily for my friends and teachers, they help me, they make me be able to get the work that I've missed. So I would say I'm thankful for them.
Yeah, and which school is that?
Barpo East Secondary School.
Yeah, and it's always good. I feel like throughout this interview, we've been talking about that support system, getting the support from your captain, from your coaches, from your dad, of course, now in school. But when you have training and you have to balance that with your actual schoolwork, do you feel as if, sometimes giving up, and what keeps you motivated?
No, I don't feel giving up because I know I reached so far already. So I just try to balance both and to improve in the both.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm so excited to talk now about that CG United Super 50 competition. And the first question I'd ask you when it comes to that is, what did you learn after everything? You finally sit back down now and you reflect on what happened. What did you learn?
I learned that no matter if it's a win or loss, you still have to learn from your bad things you do and come back and be strong and improve from those stuff.
But y'all didn't lose much though. Just want to put that out there. Lost once and you never did it again.
So we use that as a motivation to come back strong and we've been victorious for the whole tournament.
Yeah, so good to hear you say that. How was it working alongside Anisa Mohammed, Brittany Cooper, you mentioned Karishma as well, because these are ladies that would have, walked the path already. Anisa Mohammed is a name that speaks volumes, How was it for you? Were you able to learn anything from them?
Yeah, she always gave me little advice. Like in training, I remember one day I was like, that was my first time, and I think I was like, that time I didn't really was open to people. And she came to me and asked me like if I'm afraid or a little nervous. I said yes. She said you don't need to be only if once you enjoy it, you wouldn't have nothing to think about.
Yeah, and really good to get that advice because Amrita, those sort of words will remain with you forever. And again, it's coming from a legend of the game. Anisa has created that path for young girls like yourself to walk now. So really good to hear that they welcomed you because you're the baby on the team, eh?
Yeah.
Up next, race car driver Fraser McConnell joined us to talk about Rally X. Let's take a trip down memory lane with Fraser.
Hey Mariah, what's up? Always a pleasure to be here. I'm up in Portugal. It's a little bit chilly, but as you can see, I have my beach behind me. It's called a FC1. And as you can see, we're going to be standing out on track. Jamaica colors all around. Jamaica tourist board on board as a sponsor. We got Just Bet, Proven as well, and True Shake. So a lot of support from back home. We have Uncle Sal on the back as well. But, we're definitely going out there to put on a show and take home some trophies.
Yeah, love the car, love the colors, Fraser. I feel like I need to get a ride in that car.
Anytime you're ready, just bring your Pampers.
I'll be fine. I love speed. But let's talk a bit now about your preparations. How are preparations coming along in Portugal?
We arrived today. The team is setting up the tent. Got my seat fitting done. Make sure the seat belts are all tight. I'm feeling comfortable in the car. Distance the steering wheel. They just finished building this car last week, so it is brand new. And tomorrow is our practice day. Thankfully, we get to do some laps on the actual track that we're going to be racing. And like I said, brand new car. I've never driven it. I'm going to learn all the different start sequences, little things that I can learn to make myself go faster. And just get familiar and comfortable and make sure I'm ready to go for the weekend.
Yeah, and in the introduction, right, I explained to the viewers the importance of you taking part in Rally X. But can you tell me a bit about what does this mean to you personally?
Oh, it means the world. I mean, the last race I was in was October last year, and there hasn't been an international race since. So really happy to see that Rally X is, taking the mantle and making sure that races are happening. So, brands can get out there, drivers can showcase their skills. And, we can do things as exciting as put Jamaica on the map and on the entry list of a sport that's so unique like rallycross. So full steam ahead.
Jehu Gordon also stopped by on the show to reflect on Carifta 2025, which he described as a success.
We put on a great spectacle here in Trinidad and Tobago for the entire Caribbean and by extension the world to see. But right now, all the weight has been removed from our shoulders here at the National Association, and we are definitely looking forward to the great Carifta Games come next year.
Yeah, and Jehu, as you say that, right? Because I always tend to say people see events like this, Carifta 2025, we're excited, but nobody ever really understands the work that goes in behind it, right? So just in a nutshell, because I know it's going to be impossible for you to describe everything that had to take place in order for it to be successful. So tell me a little bit about that weight, that was lifted from your shoulders.
Well, I'm a new general secretary. We got into position in December last year. with 4 months really to prepare for the games. Obviously, there was a board and the executives before would have taken the initiative to at least get the ball rolling. In this instance, this was the first year that we hosted both track and field and aquatics at the same time. So we had to have a joint LOC, which made things a little bit more interesting. But on top of that, it is really just the time period that we would have had once all the confirmations were in place to ensure all the logistics were being handled. We had the LOC. From the LOC, we had an implementation committee that would oversee all the day-to-day runnings and ensure all the logistics in that aspect is being handled. But that is where all the nitty-gritty stuff really had us head over heels. With that, always behind the scenes, there would be stuff that will be frustrating, that would have tempers flaring. But once those things were not privy to the ones that were out there and spectating the event, that is where we definitely have to give kudos to ourselves. We are always hard on ourselves for setting a very high standard. All the countries that come to Trinidad, they expect, obviously, when they hear oil and gas, they believe that we have an endless pool of resources available to us, but that is not the case. We understand the condition or the situation financially that many countries across the world are facing, and Trinidad is no no stranger to all the world variables right now. But it happened. We had great reviews. And obviously, I would like to say definitely kudos to the entire membership of Trinidad and Tobago that lend their hand and assistance in any way, form possible, from the volunteers to the coaches to the support staff and even to the public of Trinidad and Tobago. It is the first time in a very, very long time that we were able to have an entire covered stand capacity filled. We had to filter over to the uncovered stands. As much as Trinidad and Tobago, as much as track and field is the most successful sport in Trinidad, it is not the most popular sport. So we had a really great turnout from Trinidad and Tobago. We had sponsors there that have been long-standing, new sponsors that came on board. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors, the government of Trinidad and Tobago, who has helped make this possible. And listen, we showed up, and we definitely showed the world what Trinidad and Tobago stands for as a people.
What's for sure is we had a lot of rapid-fire fun. Let's see how the footballers Sule McCalla and Matthew Wooling did. So I'm going to ask you a question, and you will say the first word or the first phrase that comes to your mind, okay?
Okay.
All right. The favorite goal that you have scored?
Against Trinidad.
All right. Next one. The last emoji that you texted?
Heart.
A heart. I wonder. Okay. Now this one. Would you rather call or would you rather text?
Call.
Call?
Yeah, call.
Oh, okay. What's the best part about being a Jamaican?
Food.
Yeah, I thought that as well. All right.
Yeah.
Now, would you prefer a night in or a night out?
Night in.
Okay. One word to describe Mount Pleasant Football Club.
Professional.
Do you have a ritual on match day? Is there something that you do special?
No.
No rituals. Okay.
No.
Now, the most difficult team that you faced in your career so far?
I think it's an Harborview team back in 2014, I think.
Okay, so Harborview gets that one. Now this one, who's your funniest teammate? It can be from the Reggae Boys, it can also be from Mount Pleasant. Who's the funniest?
Jamai Toby.
All right. And this last one country you haven't been to and you'd like to visit?
Spain.
All right. I wonder why, but only time will tell. I mean, Spain has La Liga. Maybe you want to play in La Liga.
My favorite country other than from Jamaica.
All right. Okay. So Matthew, I'll ask you a question. You have to say the first word or phrase that comes to mind. Are you ready?
Sure.
He's sound so not ready, but let's go. All right, favorite moment in your career so far?
Definitely my debut in national team.
All right. One word to describe your style of play.
Controlled.
Okay. Do you watch or play any other sport apart from football?
All.
You watch
More
Wow,
play. I play every sport that I can play. Yeah.
impressive. All right. This one, and I hope it's not what I think. Favorite EPL team?
Arsenal.
Oh my God. The interview was going so good, viewers, but then he said that. This one, the last person you texted.
My mom.
Okay. What song are you listening to right now?
Umale. Come Closer.
Yeah? Well, I don't know that song, so it's probably one I need to check out. This one, your most used emoji when you're texting.
Definitely the laugh emoji.
Are you really laughing when you send that?
Yeah.
All right. Next one, night in or night out?
Night in.
Okay. This one, if you could trade places with a footballer for one day, who would it be?
It'd probably be Ronaldo, just to see his daily lifestyle. You know, he's very disciplined.
As in Christy?
Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so let's see if this is the same answer. Favorite footballer of all time?
Messi. It's different, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so he would trade with Ronaldo, but he loves Messi. Well, that's a wrap for this season of In Case You Missed It. Be sure to catch us for the next season in July. Goodbye for now.